Howdy. Welcome to my shop. My name's Ron and I'll be your host for the next 10 minutes or so. Being a fourth generation carpenter, wood is that's my language. It's my living, it's my hobby, it's my passion. One of those passions is making stocks. I've never had any formal training in this. I just wanted to put a piece of wood on a gun one day, and I seemed like that'd be a pretty unique challenge, so I tried it, and been going at it ever since. But honestly, I owe a lot of my success to my customers, my friends that have suggested this or that, different ways of doing it to produce a better outcome. And so I appreciate them. I owe them a great deal. The finish that I use was suggested by a friend of mine that owns a gun shop in Georgia, a guy named Dan. I've been friends with him for many years, and I owe him for that knowledge. So I don't suggest that my way is the only way. That's just not the case. I picked up my abilities to do this from watching other people and seeing other things and then figuring out how to do that. So it's a process. Some ways are better, cleaner, faster. They require less effort. On and on it goes. And I'm open to learning new and better ways. I'm always looking for that. My grandfather used to say, never let a day go by that you don't learn something. So when I do, I'll often look up, thanks, Pop, because no matter how old you get, you still need to be learning new things. So come on in, see what's going on today. I suppose you could say that working with wood is a combination of shaping and smoothing, because shaping is done with your heavier tools and the heaviest tools. When you get down to the finer tools, you're just taking out the marks of the heavier rasp. You're taking out the marks of the side grinder. You're taking out the marks of the teeth of the bandsaw. You're just smoothing after that. And when you get down to where you can't get it any smoother with one tool, that's as smooth as it'll go with that grit of sandpaper or that coarseness of rasp or file. And then stop. Go to the next tool. Because then you're just wasting your time and you're making it smaller without any need for it to be any thinner or smaller. The process actually goes pretty fast once you see it that way, that each tool just will get it just so fine, and then you need to stop and go to the next tool. This is the hardest place in a gun stock, at least for me. You may find it's not that hard, but for me, working out where the stock goes into the grip, sometimes there's a line, a sharp line like on old Brownings and round knobs. Sometimes it's just a sweep. Sometimes with some guns, it's almost straight right there. Old military guns, they didn't take this kind of time and care and give it any kind of a dip right there, but I do. And it's pretty. It's just really aggravating to achieve that. There's another thing that it's not on this stock, but on some guns I put it on there. There's a swell, a little oval swell. Some manufacturers put it on both sides to be ambidextrous. If I'm making a custom for a right-handed person, I only put it on the right side. What it does, it fills up that little dip in your palm. It's commonly called a palm swell, The man that invented it was a German named Vandemer, and old timers called it a Vandemer swell. But it's not that hard to make because it's out here on the open side of that, and you just leave a little. It's a little aggravating to checker over sometimes because you're covering more ground when you go from here to here when you have to go over a mountain. And so try to get your checks lined up as you go over it, and then you come back here off of it, and they're still trying to keep them lined up. Sometimes you got to cheat a little bit on checkering to make them look good, but they do feel great. They're not the prettiest things in the world, but they fill up that little place in your palm, and they feel wonderful. They give you a really good ability to grip your rifle. So I'm a firm believer in them. I don't charge any more for doing it for people that want it, but I probably should. I just enjoy doing this so much. I've said for many years, it's the funnest way you can make $3 an hour. I'm putting such little light pressure on this. All I'm doing with my left hand is controlling where it's going. I'm just letting the file just cut its own. Now I'm pretty much done with what I can do with that. The smoother I can get it with a file, the less sanding I have to do. Since I've spent about 2/3 of my life sanding something, I'm not that crazy about it anymore, even though I do it a lot. Nope, wrong way. The wood will tell you which direction you need to file. You'll feel it digging in. You'll see it getting fuzzed up. The wood dictates which way you need to cut. That's with everything. That's with a sander, a belt sander, a plane, a rasp, a file. Anything you're cutting, removing wood, the wood will tell you if you'll just listen to it and look at it. The wood will tell you if it's happy about that or not. And there comes a point where, like on this side of this trough, I need to file this way. On this side of this trough, I need to file that way. And right in the bottom where they meet is no man's land. And it gets kind of touchy down there in the middle, in the very center of it. And about the only way you can get rid of that is with sandpaper. If a person had some sort of a rotary sand machine that would spin this way to get in there and actually just smooth that out, you'd have to have a lot of hand control. The machines keep digging whether you're moving or not. This file doesn't dig unless I'm pushing it. Whereas a machine that's spinning or a belt sander that's going, you set it there and turn it on, it's going to dig a hole. So you really need to have good control of a machine. If you've got a machine you're comfortable with and you're okay with trying that, be my guest. I don't trust myself that much on this process with anything that's spinning. It seems like this wood grain comes out more and more and more the smoother you get with it. It doesn't just seem like it, it does. And I feel like Columbus discovering a new world, because nobody has ever seen that piece of wood at that point like me, right here, right now. That 50 grit is almost rougher than the file I was just using. It was actually smoother with the file. I think I'll go straight to 80 grit. The technique that I use to achieve fairness is crisscrossing the way the direction I'm sanding. I'll sand this way a while, and I'll go all the way from here to here, sanding that direction. And I can look at the little scratches in the wood and tell if I'm hitting the bottom of that area I need to get to, and then I'll change and sand this direction a while, and it produces kind of a crosshatch of scratches. But I can tell if there's a gap in one area that's deeper, because I'm not this direction, those scratches are not reaching the bottom of that, so that lets me know where I need to pay attention to. But that achieves fairness like nothing else that I know of. It's just a time-consuming process. If you're making something that somebody might carry around with them and leave to their sons and grandsons, and it's got your thumbprint on it. Well, thanks for choosing to spend your time here with me today. I hope you've enjoyed this program. I'll try to post a new segment each weekend. In addition, if you'd like to read about a stock that I made and then it took a 20-foot free fall, click on the link at the bottom of this page. It's called The Broken Gun. It's a story I wrote a few years ago about my two boys. Sometimes life's hard and things get broken. Now and then we get a chance to fix them. I'm so grateful for the opportunity I had to repair this broken stock. It led to a restoration that I never could have imagined. As always, if you like this video, please click the like button and share this with your friends. Have a great day.